These are other kinds of traps and openings that always put me in trouble in the chess community.
FBI, open up!
I mean, if this opening trick happened in the real world, I could have been arrested. Jokes aside. And here is what I'm talking about, you guys. After playing e4 and black plays d5, instead of taking right away, you can transpose this into the improved Tennison Gambit and you are going to see what I mean. By the way, after this short tutorial, I'm going to challenge at least 3 random chess players on leeches. So here you just go knight f3, and after pawn takes, which is the top played move, now you go knight g5, counter-attacking that pawn. Most of your opponents are going to play knight f6. By the way, even if they play bishop f5 first, it doesn't even count. You just go knight c3 as if you want to get back your pawn, right? Black is gonna defend with knight f6. After all, it's a developmental move. Now this is when you develop your light squad bishop, targeting the weak f7 pawn. Black is gonna play pawn to e6 in most cases, and now you have an option either to play pawn to f3 or pawn to d3. Let's start with d3. This is one thing I love to do on Wednesdays. So pawn takes is what most people play, after which you go queen f3, targeting the b7 pawn. I don't know why, but c6 seems to be the most common move in this position. Yes, black can play knight c6, which is somewhat challenging. We're going to look at that after c6. The simple trap here begins with knight takes f7, sacrificing your knight, double attacking the queen and the rook on h8. Black will be forced to take in most cases, after which you grab the light squad bishop because the e6 pawn is pinned to the king by your light squad bishop. Should they play something like queen d6, which they like to do? First, it looks attracting to play knight e4 and all that, but at this point, remember to put your king to safety first before you continue with your attack. I mean, moves like knight e4 are good, but think about black's deadly responses, such as queen b4 check. You're going to lose your light squad bishop. Maybe if you do something like this, still they can take your light squad bishop. This is what I mean. So in this particular position of the Tennison Gambit, you first of all want to put your king to safety so that you get rid of all unnecessary threats. With this move, now it becomes safe for you to go knight e4. If black plays pawn to g6, you can simply retreat your queen back to f3, still pinning that knight. There's nothing they can do. They love playing king g7, but guess what? Again, when you're playing a gambit, you always want to adopt an attacking mind. So don't stop attacking whenever you have a chance. Here I would play a move like bishop f4 or bishop h6 to separate the king from the knight. Then take, and life goes on. Knight e4 is coming and all that. Maybe I can even take. By the way, queen takes attacks the rook. If bishop g7, there you have mate in one. That's one possibility in the e takes d3 line after you sacrifice a pawn. Again, I said go queen f3, and I said instead of c6, black can also play this challenging move knight c6. With knight c6, just know their next plan might be knight d4, and that'll be so challenging. Well, since you're playing an aggressive gambit, what I find to be playable at human level is knight takes f7. Of course, you can't play the Tennison Gambit against Stockfish or against a strong grandmaster. I mean, you're gonna get butchered. Sorry, but that's just how chess works. King takes is what most average players play, even at club level. So you just go ahead and take the bishop. If they play knight d4, which is what they do at human level, this is when you want to take on d3 with your queen. And that's it. You're back into the game. Anywho, in this particular position, I said the other move you can try is pawn to f3 instead of pawn to d3. Remember, after d3, pawn takes, you want to go queen f3. But how about pawn to f3 right away? The idea is to take on e4 with your knight. You just want to get back a pawn and, given a chance, you want to castle long as you don't hang your light squad bishop, right? Most people here are going to take on f3 because, what are you doing with your life? Again, you can simply take. This attacks the b7 pawn. If black defends their b7 pawn, same idea, you go knight takes f7. Point is, after king takes, once again, you have queen takes f5. Black can take. The pawn is pinned to the king by your light squad bishop. They play queen d6 as always. Now wait a second. Here there's a slight difference. Remember in the d3 line I said you want to put your king to safety first before playing knight e4. But this is where I want you guys to pay much attention. When it comes to chess, you don't just play like a robot, following what your coach taught you. You know what I mean? You need to think at every stage of the game before you play an aggressive move. You need to try and identify your opponent's threats. In the pawn to f3 line, if you just go ahead and castle short, black can simply go queen d4 check and win your last squad bishop for free. So this is how you identify and avoid blunders. So instead of that, here you can straight away go knight e4. After all, black can't even give you a check since you didn't play pawn to d3, right? This is a slight difference I wanted to cover in today's video before I play some random games. In this position, black usually plays queen e7. Another blunder that I see white players making is taking on e6, thinking they are going to fork black's queen and king like that. But this is a very big blunder in that after queen takes, your knight is pinned, it can't move. So avoid making such blunders. So instead of taking right away, you can castle or better go knight g5 check straight away. For some reason, I love castling. There's no check due to knight takes. And maybe this is when you might consider taking on e6 with your bishop, since your knight is not gonna be pinned to the king. So you go knight g5 check and win that, especially with your queen met on the next move, probably. Anywho, instead of castling, just go knight g5 check right away. Forcing moves are always good. King g8 will lead to a mate in 2, so they'll play king e8, after which you can take either with your bishop or your knight. I love taking with my knight in this position. Just say g6, you can play anything you want, but queen h3 is much safer, holding on to your knight. If b5, you go bishop b3, still protecting your knight twice. c5, this is what people do, by the way. Here you can even do a little trick, go d4, so that if c4 is played, you give up your last squad bishop by castling. If they take, you just pin that knight. I mean, there's no defending it. Because if this happens, now you have knight takes g7, and after that, you can take if you want, or go queen c8. This will lead to checkmate after a few moves. Now, it is time for me to walk the talk. Since you know, I'm not one of those YouTubers who just end at showing you traps that they don't even play themselves, which is why you have all the reasons to subscribe to this channel. Because I do walk the talk trying all the dubious gambits that I cover on this channel. And I have a lot of them, more than 700. Let's go! Okay, so let's try this out again. This is the Scandinavian defense against this. Let's go with the Tennison. Now knight c3, if knight f6, we go bishop c4 and pawn to d3 and queen f3, attacking the b7 pawn. But in reality, we just want to sacrifice the knight, double attacking the queen and the rook. And queen takes. My opponent was trying to follow my speed, but look what happened to their soul. So check. Need to find a quick checkmate here. How do I go about it? Think I'm supposed to play this move if I'm not mistaken. What other move can I play? No, pawn to h4 is very slow due to h6. So let's give a check. The king must come out. And then let me try to remember my theory here. I think I'm supposed to attack with everything I have. Yep, I'm supposed to open up this side of the board. That was the only sensible move my opponent could have played. So this check, I have all the time in this world to calculate through. Let's check. That check, checkmate to check. What can they do? Can also free up my thing. Now the easiest is to give a check in this position. I guess just giving a check, but what if they do this? Do I have another check? That check. What if I just give a check? If I remember very well, I think I'm supposed to give a check here and met. Oh, that was so close. Damn it. Awesome stuff. So let's move on. Oh, we have a game. Knight f3. I'm playing against a 2239 rated chess player. Please go d5. Okay, there we have it, e4. Pawn takes, knight g5. Knight c3 is coming. So they hold on to this pawn on e4. Let's go bishop c4, attacking the weak f7 square. Oh, bishop g6, I didn't see that coming. Okay, we still go pawn to f3, sticking to our plan. If pawn takes, queen takes on f3, eyeing the b7 square. So black has to do some. Oh, c6. Oh, c6. Okay. The problem is that I cannot capture on f7. I cannot sack on f7. Let's go pawn to d3 maybe. I cannot sack on f7 because there's a bishop on g6. I want to castle long after developing my dark squared bishop. f4. Can I go bishop f4? No. Maybe bishop e3. Bishop e3, castle long. That's what I'm planning next. Oh, my queen is under attack. Black's knight is also attacking my bishop on c4. Let's go queen f4. Queen f4 defends my bishop, which is on c4, so that if Black's knight takes my bishop, I will take with my queen. And I'm also attacking that knight, Black's knight on e5. What is he going to do? My gambit was, okay, knight takes, queen takes. My gambit was declined, but that did not stop me from continuing. So probably this would be a very good example of how you guys should be playing when your gambit has been declined. So you can see that all that I care about in this position is activity. So I'm just pawn storming right now. Oh, now my knight is under attack somehow. So I can't move my pawn to the h5 square. Maybe I need to take Black's knight on d5. I take black because the knight is attacking my bishop, so I have to take it. If pawn takes, I'll take. If pawn takes, I'll go queen f4, planning to go to the f2 square. My queen is under attack by the bishop, so I go queen f2. Queen f2. Now plan is to go h5, attacking Black's bishop on g6. Okay, so you guys can see how I'm playing this gambit. Okay, let's go h5. Offense is the best defense. Let's take the bishop on h7. And then I push pawn to g5. So that's the thing, you guys. Like, if your gambit is declined, just keep on going. Just keep on giving your opponent a lot of pressure, increasing their chances to blunder. So queen f5, check. The idea is to take the pawn on g5. On g5, yes, with our bishop, attacking Black's queen. What is that? There's nothing there. So let's just go h6. Let's just go for the kill. Pawn to h6. So this is how you guys should be playing. Now this is checkmate. So pawn to h7, queen f6, checkmate. Now this is how you guys should be playing gambits. Like when your gambit is declined, just continue attacking and giving your opponent a lot of pressure. And before I show you some more and more interesting stuff, allow me to thank all of my patrons and all of you guys who purchased my new E5 defense course, which is now complete, obviously, which teaches you how to beat the Scotch, the Italian game, the Bishop's opening, the Vienna game, and other minor openings under E4. Right, game number 2. Game number 2, I'm playing against a 1532 rated opponent. So knight f3, and my opponent is playing very fast again. I want to play the Tennison Gambit with pawn to e4. So this is one thing that you notice about most intermediate level players or most average players. You know, they like playing very fast without, knowing what they are doing really. And this is not an insult. If anything, it's a call for improvement, you guys. You need to take your time. Be patient on the board. There is no need to rush. Anyways, I just want to take back on d3 with my last squad bishop, and then after pawn to h6, I'm gonna sacrifice my knight on f7 and win the queen on d8. So bishop takes d3 is the move here. After pawn to h6, I'm gonna take on f7. So you see what I talked about. My opponent is just making random moves, playing very fast. So I'm going to win a free queen. This is what is happening here. If king takes f7, I'm going to play bishop g6, and then after king takes, I'm going to win a free queen on d8. If you remember very well, this is the exact line that I showed you in the intro of this video, so no need to be surprised or no need to get surprised. So the lesson here is that whenever you come across an opening that is weird, that is not common to your eyeballs, you need to slow down, play slow chess. By the way, I can see that my opponent wants to take on g2 with that queen d5 mistake. I'm about to checkmate him, and you will see how this goes, you guys. I'm going to take the rook and then play bishop g6 check, probably after queen takes g2. Yeah, after queen takes g2, I have bishop g6 checkmate. Queen e5 check. Okay, this is a clever move. I've never seen anything like this before, but I still have bishop e3 blocking the check with my dark squad bishop and not with my elbow. Yeah, if bishop e3, I still have that checkmate. Bishop e3, queen takes b2, and then bishop g6 checkmate. Maybe they have this is what I'm talking about, queen takes b2. So again, you can see my opponent was just blazing out moves, playing without calculating deeply. You see, when you are not familiar with a certain gambit or a certain opening, play slow chess and try as much as possible to keep things solid. If necessary, just decline the gambit and close the position. That's how you beat most chess gambits. Now check this out, you guys. If you want to learn more about these kinds of tricks or similar opening ideas like the ones I just shared, you can watch this video that has popped up on the top left. Another video that I highly recommend you check out to skyrocket your rating is this one that has popped up on the top right. But if you love gambit videos, you can check out the video that has popped up on the bottom left. And if you are a lover of chess traps like myself, feel free to click on the video that has popped up on the bottom right.